Good morning, happy Sunday. I'm Liz Bailey. I'm the owner of the paper crafting business, My Elegant Cards, as you probably knew. First, I want to announce the winner of last week's raffle, which was Sherry Munson. So Sherry, I don't believe you won the raffle before, so if you're watching, please send me your address so I can email you your prize. Otherwise, I'll ping you on Facebook and try and get your address. So if you want to be the recipient of the raffle prize for next Sunday, share this video and I'll put you in the raffle. And I gotta say, at the moment, I tend to get around 3 to 4 shares, so that gives you a pretty good chance, actually. But I would really appreciate it if you could share, because that way I'll get more people watching, which is always a good thing. Right, so this morning I am going to make a box. Hello, Susan. I'm going to make a box because I had made a lot of... Oh, this is where they are. They're in the box. I'd made a load of cards with the Field and Flowers DSP, and I was having so much fun with it, I decided to make a box to keep them in. Or actually, mostly I make boxes because I do craft fairs sometimes. Obviously, I haven't done any lately, but I got a bit of a stash going so that when I do have a craft fair, I've got lots of boxes that I can put my cards in, and it's a nice gift for someone. So let me just turn you down, push you out that way, and you can see how beautiful it is here today. Yeah, it's snowing, so and it's still snowing, and we hadn't cleared up. We hadn't really recovered from all of the snow we had previously, so it'll be fun. But I still went running this morning. It was a bit crazy, I admit. Okay, right, I think we're good there. So this is what I made that I think Kim asked me if I could do a tutorial, so I'm going to. This is based on a box Rhonda Wade made. I adjusted it a bit. So I made a little belly band for it, mostly because I didn't have the ribbon the right color. So as you can see, I've got 6 cards in here and 6 envelopes, and you could actually squeeze in a few more if you really wanted to. It kind of depends how much embellishment you put on them as to how many you can get in here. So then I'll just put the belly band back. And as you can see also, probably it doesn't meet because the box is too big to be able to use a single, 11-inch piece of belly band. So this is what, well, actually, why don't I show, here's some others I've made. This is one of my first ones, and I decided that I much preferred to have a mat on it. I think it looks so much better. So I've done that one, which hasn't been decorated or filled with things yet. Here's another one, ribbon and a little, quite fond of this one. I've got another one. So as you can see, there's a lot of variety. They look very different just because you've got different colors and mats. So let me just put these over here out of the way and we can get going. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say was I have put out my first online card class, and here's a quick peek at what I'm going to be making. And it's $38, and you get the supplies for 6 cards and a $20 goodie bag, around $20. So if you would like to buy that kit, if you're on my email list, then you already know about it. But if you're just interested, post something below this and let me know. So let's get going. This, as you may notice, is a piece of card from the back of one of these, a DSP package, right? I've cut it down to, what have I cut it down to? 8.5 by 12. Yes, that's what I cut it down to. Oh, I carefully wrote myself a little picture here and then turned it over because it was so dirty. Oh, well. Oh my goodness, sometimes I crack myself up. So, on the 8.5 side, you want to score at 1 1/4. Don't forget, the darker one is the cutter and the lighter one is the scorer. You really don't want to get those backwards because it will be annoying. That doesn't look particularly good. Let me try it again. Is it? No, it's my eyes. They are. It's being messed up by that. And then I turn it around and do 1 1/4 on the other side. So we've got, you see, like so. Then we do 1/2 inch on this one. There you go, there's the 1/2 inch. Then we need to do 1 1/4 further on, so it's 1 3/4. I'm going to turn it around now because I don't have 1 3/4 there. So 1 3/4, and 4.5 next. 1 3/4. Right, and then 4, 5. Oh yes, and then it would be 6 1/4, but I'm too lazy to open up this. So I'm going to turn it around and do it at 4 1/2, and then at 5 3/4. Like so. Alternatively, if you're not lazy, you can do it at 1/2 inch, 1 3/4. Oh, I did it lazy here too. 1/2 inch, 1 3/4, 6 1/4, 7 1/2, and you'd get the same thing, but there you are. So that's all of the scoring done. Let me move that out of the way. Right. And then all you do, you've got, where the 1/2 inches, you've got two, well, there's a square and a rectangle. You want to get rid of both of those. Like so, on both sides. And then, I don't know if you can see it, is it too shiny? But there are 2 little squares here. So we cut up the side of the square, and then you just make a little triangle This is going to be the tab that we stick the box together with. And if we don't cut it down a little bit, you don't have to, but if you don't, there's just too much bulk there, and it doesn't give you a nice, neat fold or where you put it together. You end up with too much bulk, and it just doesn't sit right. Just trust me. So then you cut that one like so. That's all good. And I should have said, no, I'm going to fold it this way because I don't want to have this on the outside of the box, obviously. So now you cut your DSP. Which I have pre-cut because I figured you don't need to watch me cutting a whole load of DSP. So what we've got is the DSP. I've got, so I've got there's two of everything, all right, because you've got obviously a symmetrical box, and we're going to put DSP on every surface there is. So that's 6. So do 2 of each. So you need 2 each of 4 by 5.5. So that's those. 2 each of 1 by 5.5. So I have those. And then 2 each of 1 by 4. I should have told you that this is Berry something or other. Berry Delightful DSP. And it really is. I mean, it's rather fun. It's a celebration item. So just show you the rest of it. This one, oh, it's got strawberry pips on the back. This one is a little different, and I really, really like this paper here. So this is part of a set which also has this in it, and it's a $100 thing. So if you want it, that's what you've got. And then the mats are almost exactly the same, except 1/8 of an inch bigger in both directions. So that you need 2 4 1/8 by 5 5/8. You need 2 of the 5 5/8 by 1 1/8. This takes pretty much a whole sheet of this. This is Pacific Point. And you need 2 each of 4 1/8 by 1 1/8. So maybe I'll write these down under the video so that you can refer back to it instead of having to quickly try and write them down now. So what we need to do now is put these all together. It's a good day to be creating, I have to say, with all this snow. Could do with a good cup of cocoa or something. Uh-oh, that's my stomach gurgling. I haven't given it much to eat yet. Sorry about that. I guess I should feed it if I've taken it out running. I had a little yogurt, but that was it. Okay, and then we get the longer strips. to your fingers. And what I really like to do is to use this DSP, or this set of DSP, and put the cards in the box that match. Might just be me being a bit too matchy, but it works. Guess my hair's falling out again. If any of you are Paper Pumpkin subscribers, this week on my blog I've been doing alternative Paper Pumpkin cards using the stamp set that is in the box. So if you need some alternatives, take a look at that. Right, so that's that. Now, one thing I should have said, well, no, it's not too late. If your paper has a side that is actually up, which this doesn't, then if you put the paper down with the 1/2 inch at the top, the one at the bottom you need to do upside down. So it's pointing the other way, so that when you put the box together, it works out. But in this case, mine doesn't seem to matter which way up it is, so I don't need to worry about that. So it's hard to see where the top is, so there it is. I know I should be doing it the other way around, but I scored it upside down, I guess. Is that good? Yes, I think so. Did I put my head in the way? I'm sorry if I did. Oh, I usually like to go up. Oh, that's a short one. Here we go. Here's a long one. So the long one, this is actually the bottom of the box. It's fairly pointless, I suppose, but you know, why not? And you can try and line this up with this. And so, in fact, if you really want to be clever, you cut it. You cut your paper so that you cut this one, because you've got your paper is what, 5.5 across. So you've got a nice piece of 5.5 by 12, right? And so you can cut this first piece and then cut this piece and then this piece and then that piece, and it, as long as it isn't something where you need to turn it upside down, the pattern can continue, which looks kind of cool. I mean, not in this case because I didn't cut them that way, but you can make it kind of all linked together. But it's probably not worth it because, well, unless you're just being a perfectionist, because probably no one would notice. But you'd know, which is the important thing, really. So line that up with this one. And because that's so far away from me, I'm going to turn it around. And so then put the 1/2 inch thing at the top again, and these two go here. So that's what it should look like when you have finished layering on your pieces. So as you can see, this is very easy to put together. But there are a couple of things you need to be careful of. Right, so we're going to put the glue on next. So with it the right way up, take your tear and tape or your Seal Plus works also, but oops, that one went over a bit. This is the problem with the tear and tape. You get it stuck to your fingers. So I'll just trim that piece off. Okay. It's now stuck to my finger. Okay, so then we do a bit more of the tear and tape. I was getting much better at it yesterday. Not running over. Oh dear, oh dear. Okay, so there you go. Let me just try and get this stuff off my fingers. Right. So you've got that. Now you turn it over and you need to do these pieces. And you need to make sure you have one very close to this side because otherwise it will flap. But I like to put 2 layers. And put this one close to the edge. Like so. And then do the opposing side. Like so. Right, finished with that. So first, let's remove. Oh, no, actually first what we should do is fold the score lines. So as you can, I know I'm folding it the wrong way, but I wanted this to be inside. I should have thought of that as I started. So let's fold these ones like so. And finally, this piece. Right, so we've now got everything prepared. Right, so now you get something to get the tear and tape off with. Obviously, if you're using Seal Plus, you wouldn't do them all at the same time. So then, this is another important point that you can easily get wrong. Because what we want is for this to be on the outside, right? So this tab has to be attached to the one without the paper. So we're going to match this edge up with this edge. So you just, I don't think you can see, can you? So you just pull that in. What is happening? Pull it in and stick it. And try not to get the other one in the way. So there we have that. And then what we're going to do is this is going to go around here. And it's not worth. This is very odd. I did something wrong, obviously. But let me fix that. Maybe I didn't cut that enough. Let me see. Well, I guess it will go. Somewhere I did the wrong. Oh, this is embarrassing. I've made so many of these. You'd think I could make one. What have I done? Let's cut this down. And I think I did one of my score lines wrong. That's what it looks like. Well, anyway, if you don't do your score lines wrong, it will work much better. So take these off. I'm really puzzled now. Oh, that was 1 1/2, not 1 1/4. What did I do wrong? I have no idea. But I did something wrong. That is too deep. But as you've seen, I've made loads of these, so I suspect it was because it's a little hard to see where I was. But I will give you the correct. So this is supposed to match up to that, and it's not going to because I made the base too big. So yes, it's a bit of a mess, but it will work. Probably going to have to, it won't fit in there, so you need to just trim a tiny piece off so that it will fit. So, and now it will fit in there, right? So assuming you've done it right, I thought that was odd that it didn't seem quite right. Okay, so let's assume this is perfect. I know that's a big assumption. I'm going to have to make another one. I'll just make some space. And then here's how I did the belly band. It's now a bit right. So what I did was I took, this is about 1.25 maybe, and I put it kind of in the middle of there, and then I just squished it and squished it there and here, because it's not going to meet, because this isn't long enough. It needed to be 12 inches and I don't have any 12-inch specific point. So what I did, I've creased it, so now you can make sure that's straight. Make a good crease. Not too tight, of course. When you were pinching, you should make sure that there's a bit of give. And then, oh, let's get him out. I've got a little where did I put my here we go. Got a little label. Sweetly Stitched. Got some Night of Navy, which is in that box. In the DSP. And Happy Birthday. And this is from Many Mates, which has got lots of things. So just get this out of the way. Like so. And then I'm going to fix this here. So put a little glue there. And maybe a bit more. And fix it there. Now we've got extra space. Oh, I think I messed that up too. I'm not having a good day, am I? So anyway, so what you would do, I mean, you don't have to make a belly band like this. You can use ribbon and have a that's how I did it upside down because of that bigger piece, didn't I? So it's now upside down. Great. Okay, let me take it off if I can. Okay, so this was supposed to be the bottom, right? And this, but normally it wouldn't matter because it's got the same, it should have the same, it should have the same measurements. I just messed this up. So, but I've been following those directions and they've been, you know, I wrote them, so I know they're fine. So then you can just put a little glue on, yeah, right. Okay, this is really not going well according to plan. So put some there, put some here. Close the lid if you can, and then just have this here like that. Try not to stick yourself to it, and then you just put this in place and you've got your belly band. But this is a bit lopsided because I messed it up, but you won't mess yours up, and then you won't have that extra size there that is messing everything. So sorry that I completely messed that up, but you get the idea, and I will post the score lines, and you'll be able to make this. It's a lot easier than I seem to have made it look today. Yeah, it's just my eyesight today is not well. It's a bit blurry, I don't know why, but dehydration probably, because I did go for quite a hard run. So anyway, this, I'm going to redo it, and maybe I'll show it to you next week to show you that it can actually work. Well, you know it can work because here's this one, which you'll note has not got such a large bottom, which is what messed up the whole thing. So be careful when you're doing your scoring, make sure it's right. And oh, I seem to have gold gilding still all over me, and this was a clean shirt this morning, so I've been attracting the gold gilding stuff, but that's kind of fun. So as you can see, it really does work. Here's another one to prove it, and I hope you have fun making them, because it's a great gift to give someone with, you know, half a dozen or 8 cards in it, and with the envelopes as well. It's good. Be careful when you are trimming your, if the lid won't go in, be very careful that you only trim a tiny bit, otherwise you'll end up with one that just won't stay closed. Okay, so again, if you'd share this, I would really appreciate it. And if you would like to join in with my inaugural online class, I will put a link in my Facebook page shortly. Okay, thanks so much for joining, and have a good day.